It's a lie.
Big private meeting. No, it's not a private meeting. He's not going to learn anything.
Oh, really? It's not a private. That's how they're differentiating it?
I don't know.
Wow.
Here we go.
John and Gordy in the Morning is brought to you by John Peterson and Gordy Young in association with John and Gordy Productions, Civic Media, and your Uncle Steve. Side effects may include nausea, uncontrollable laughter, and the desire to throw your radio into Lake Mendota. Now, here they are, John and Gordy. We're sorry.
Oh, sure. Now he's sorry. Oh, man.
Poor Uncle Steve.
Uh-oh. WMDX. John and Gordy in the morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
The number 3 best morning show in the state.
For the time being.
For the time being. We're going to be usurped one of these days. You know it. You know it.
Happy Friday and happy March 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we made it through the week. We are broadcasting once again from our remote studio in my house.
This is the big show, right?
This is the show. This is the big show.
350?
What do you mean?
Did you? How many?
Oh,
what's
yeah.
the number?
This is episode number 350.
350.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So
right.
Congratulations.
Well,
we made it to
well, thank you.
350
you helped.
shows together.
3 more weeks, and you'll have spent a year on the air.
Wait, what? Is that no?
How much?
365.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a year consecutive. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah. We got you.
There are weekends that we take off.
Yes. We got to figure all that in. Okay. So it's a little chilly out there this morning, John. Did you have to scrape any frost off your windshield or anything?
No, it's actually pretty nice out there this morning.
Okay. Well, I know the WMDX thermometer, Sam checked it earlier, 33 degrees.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But let's check the afternoon high. What do you think? Should we fire up the lottery ball machine? Let's get the balls out and do that, Sam. If we could. John's checking his WMDX Samsung watch.
The official.
Okay, the first number is a 5.
Yeah.
Second number is a 4.
Ooh.
54 is what...
I have 55. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, we'll see who's right on that.
Mid-50s.
Quite the difference there.
We can safely say mid-50s for today.
All right, so I don't know how this works. All right, I always give you the sunrise time,
Right.
the exact time. It was 7 o'clock, right?
Yesterday.
The other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
What?
It's 6:58
Okay.
today.
Well, that's all right. What do you,
2 minutes.
yeah, we get more daylight as the
Okay,
Spring
that's a whole
kicks
2
in.
minutes. That's a lot. And the sunset is at 7:11. 7:11
What was it yesterday?
down in the boys' gym. 7:11.
Okay. So it's the sunset is a little later too,
It is. Yeah.
a minute or two. Yeah. Well, that's how it works.
You know, I didn't know that this would happen, but it's starting to happen. You know, I have the Kraken. I have a young border collie, almost 2 years old, and she's crazy and relentless. Has to go out relentlessly. Has to go out, and she has this order that we're in. She goes out with my wife, and then I take her out. And she goes out with my wife, and then I take her out. And here's the thing, because of the extended daylight,
Right.
now she has more time to bother us to go outside and play with her in the yard. I can't handle it anymore.
Oh, come on. What are you talking about? It's good exercise for both of you,
Well,
for
it is.
everybody.
It's good exercise. It's
Right?
the only excuse I have for doing this.
Gets
But
you out of the
my
house.
God, yes. Yes,
Right?
it does.
And the boys, neither of the boys help you out.
No.
Why, how is that they've never been involved with the dog?
It's not that they never have been. It's just that we're around the house and they're in their little areas where we
Looking at
don't see them.
Doing computer games
Yeah.
or whatever they do, right?
Well, my son does covers for my wife's books,
Okay.
and my other son is working now.
That's great.
Yeah, he's out there plugging away.
Excellent. Well, good now. Good to know. Okay, let's get to the national day. Not cutting you off. I just think that's fabulous.
That's fine. I know
think
it's
wonderful.
fabulous. I mean, you guys used to lay into me about the fact that these guys did no work at all, lived at home, stayed in the basement, played games all the time.
Is the other son looking for a summer job, maybe?
Well, he doesn't need one because he's doing covers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, how long did that take? I mean,
It's not how long it takes; it's how much money you make per cover.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's doing well.
Okay. Well, let's hit the National Day calendar. What day is it today? What day is it not?
All right. Yes.
You ready? Is it National Future Generations Day? How about National Memory Day? Is it that or not? How about National Countdown Day? National Eye Care Day? National French Bread Day? National California Strawberry Day? Boy, there's a lot of these. National Fragrance Day, National Single Parent Day, or National Common Courtesy Day. Which one of those days does not belong, John Peters?
We did away with National Common Courtesy Day, so that's no longer part of the national calendar. I think that was an executive order from Trump.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer. Oh,
you are wrong.
that is a new effect here that you have exclusively in your office, in your home.
It's a real buzzer. It's not a it's a real buzzer.
I have a feeling
Like
the
that?
entire neighborhood has just
Really
shifted in their beds. I wonder what the hell's going on in that corner house.
Sounds like you robbed a basketball court or something and took the buzzer from there. It's that loud.
Excuse
That's
me.
true. It's like a basketball.
I don't know
court.
where I got this. I got it years and years ago. It's actually a smoke detector that plugs into the wall.
Wow.
That's how old that is. It doesn't use batteries. So, yeah, it's pretty good, though.
It is good.
Sam, do you have a guess as to what day it is not on the National Day calendar? Do you remember
what
any
was
of
the
them?
one that was like Younger Generations Day? It's not that. Nobody cares about the younger
You
generations,
mean
right?
National Single Parent Day or National, let me see, Younger Generation? Oh, National Future Generations Day?
Future generation.
That's
yeah.
your guess?
We don't care about the future, right?
Is that your guess?
Yes, that's my guess. Oh no!
Okay.
You gave him an opportunity to use the sound effect again.
That's right. Thank you. No, it's not National Eye Care Day. That would have been the correct answer. It's not that. It might be some other day, but it's not today.
Right.
All right. So National Future Generations Day. Let's see what that's all about. National Future Generations Day, celebrated on the third Friday of March, serves as a powerful reminder that our collective responsibility to nurture the health and well-being of those yet to come, promote awareness and dialogue around these critical issues. Boy, this sounds pretty heavy, doesn't it? In a world where today's challenges often feel like they're piling up faster than we can handle, well, that's the truth, it's essential to pause and reflect on the legacy we leave for future generations. You know, that's something to think
Well, you
about.
got to really think
The
about that a
future
long time.
generations,
Yeah.
they're screwed, man.
Well, we have really helped them this time. Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
We
that's
got the
pretty heavy.
78-year-old nut job in the White House.
Which one?
Yeah.
Elon? Oh, no. How old is Elon?
No,
he's not quite.
Oh,
that
he's
old.
way younger. Yeah.
It's National Memory Day. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrating the brain as a function of the human body that helps us recall events and retrieve experiences from the past. Most people think of memory as something that is used to remember past events. However, there's actually three functions of memory, John. The first function of memory is to acquire information. The second and third functions of memory involve the ability to retain and retrieve information. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll salute National Memory Day. I see we got a phone call here. We'll get to that in a moment. National Countdown Day. What's that about?
Yeah. What is that about?
Well, let me tell you. 3, 2, 1. It says 3, 2, 1. Counts down the minutes and seconds or events to big and small. This is celebrating the fact that you can count backwards.
Oh, God.
We can start a countdown to just about anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's stupid.
The only
Let's
time
just move on.
we've ever used that is when you're going
Launching
under.
rockets.
No, when you're going under. Okay,
Really?
count from 10.
Ah.
And then, you pass out, right?
Right.
The anesthesiologist is there to help you.
Yes. Oh, boy. National French Bread Day. You like French bread?
Yeah,
Big
sure.
fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like sourdough better, though.
How about National California Strawberry Day?
Yes, those California strawberries.
I love
yes,
strawberries.
indeed. Yeah.
celebration takes place. It's the ideal time to rejuvenate our senses and get excited about fresh fruit dishes. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to breeze through here because there's so many. National Fragrance Day.
Yeah.
Do you wear a cologne, John, every once in a while? Special occasion?
I actually don't. I don't wear
perfume?
colognes at all.
No? You find them offensive?
No, I don't know. I never liked colognes much.
Sam, how about you?
Wear cologne?
What's the younger
No.
generation wearing these days? No cologne?
Well,
No?
I really don't know. I don't wear any.
No.
Okay. All right. It's National Single Parent Day. We salute all the single parents out there. And National Common Courtesy Day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be nice to each other. Let's just display a little common courtesy today.
Yeah, usually we're at each other's throats. Maybe we should take a pause on that for the day.
Maybe. Today serves as a reminder of the behavior that keeps society from melting into a sea of madness.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Still getting over this cold. In addition, the day brings awareness of how crucial common courtesy is in our lives and provides examples to help us improve.
All right.
Okay. Should we go to this phone call from
All right.
Matt?
Do we have time for Matt? Let's
We
go.
got
to
a
Matt
couple of
right now.
minutes, I
Sure.
think, if we can keep it short. Good morning, Matt. Go ahead with your call. Got a couple of minutes here.
Hey guys, so I've been out of work for 3 weeks with a back injury, and it has me thinking about healthcare and what Bernie's talking about, and just wondering if you guys think there's just something strange about systems that make people more and more useless or worthless to. But when you had villages of 100 people, everybody mattered, and everybody had a place, and everybody took care of each other. And it seems like with modern times and larger communities, we all kind of break apart. Just wondering what you think about that. Thanks.
Yeah, you kind of fall away if you have a
Thank you,
back
man.
injury like that, and you're just sitting around. Sometimes you wonder if you're ever going to get any kind of help. If you're going to have health care at all, the ability to pay for it, and handle the co-pays, everything else. We advocate universal health care coverage on this program. I know that Dom also does. Maggie, I believe, has mentioned it a few times.
Yes.
It's something that we really, really, truly need and passionately should push on the rest of us. It is something that is truly important to each and every one of us somewhere in the future.
Matt, we hope your back gets better soon. Appreciate your call because we need all the listeners we can get. Okay? Stay healthy out there. Okay.
All right.
Coming up on 19 past the hour, we'll be back with Pam Yonke with a preview of the Midwest Farm Report next on John and Gordy in the Morning for a Friday. Stay with us on WMDX.
It's Matt. All right. Let's see here.
Do we have Pam?
Once I call her.
Okay.
Okay.
Sneak in a Verlo here.
The real makeup of Wisconsin rural communities: rural, adjacent, suburban, urban.
Good morning, Pam. Hang on one second.
Okay.
Pam's on.
Do you have the list, John?
I do.
Did you hear me, guys?
Yes. Pam, good morning.
All right. And we don't have to go through all those. I just like to give you some starting points,
Sure.
just in case it's a slow morning.
Yeah, I think the what is that? Is that a study for the real makeup of Wisconsin rural areas?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those deals where the question of how rural is Wisconsin anymore
Oh, okay.
gets
Yeah.
asked
Yeah.
down at the state capitol, and nobody's ever done a study to actually give firm data on what the hell's happening out there. So this Rural Policy Institute that just started last July tackled it and just released their paper. So.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
Great.
Yeah, let's get to that one. That's good. Anything else crop up in the meantime since you provided this list?
Nah, no. I was trying. I mean, we can. One thing we could, if we want to, is Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin's big into the WIAA, trying to let those kids know that
coming in
chocolate milk
quick
is really
here, 10
good for them.
seconds.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. About 5 seconds.
WMDX 92.7, John and Gordy in the morning, broadcasting from the capital city, Madison, Wisconsin.
Chilly start this morning, about 33 degrees. Highs today in the mid-50s, a mix of clouds and some sunshine. We'll check in with Brittany Merlot in about an hour and get the latest on the weekend weather. Right now, Pam Yankee is with us. Good morning, Pam, from Midwest Farm Report.
Morning,
How you
guys.
doing?
Yep.
Good. We're
Well,
doing good.
I was talking to somebody yesterday that came through the building, and they were a little bit shocked at our weather. I'm like, wait a minute. It's the first day of, yesterday was the first day of spring. I said, it's Wisconsin boys basketball. I said, if you're a homer like me and grew up in this state, you could just about predict what we were going to have with the weather this week. So safe travels to everybody that's coming back to Madison for the rest of the playoff weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, yes.
Well, let's hope they're drinking a lot of milk while they're here.
Well, yeah, I was telling you guys that that's one thing that we've been kind of bringing up in conversations from time to time, how the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin is one of the strong messages you'll see in a lot of the sport venues for high school athletes is reminding them that chocolate milk has been scientifically proven to be one of the best ways to recharge after a workout. And a lot of school systems, so through the help of their dairy farmers, have actually put coolers in their locker rooms so that when the athletes come off the field or off the floor and are kind of looking to rebuild after a game, they have nice ice cold chocolate milk to help their bodies do it.
Boy, I love chocolate milk. Out of the
me
carton.
too.
It's the best. It really is. Didn't they take it out of the menu for a while, school lunch menu?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you very rarely will you see chocolate milk on even the low-fat chocolate milk. It has a dilly of a time trying to get onto school lunch menus. That's kind of a never-ending anthem out in Washington, D.C. by a lot of dairy farm advocates, is trying to just get the right milk into schools at the right temperature in the right containers to keep it attractive to kids. It's semantics.
It is. It is. Well, now there's a new research facility that you mentioned to us off the air, and they're taking a look at the real makeup of Wisconsin's rural community. And this sounds pretty interesting, actually. What did they come up with?
I did it. Yeah, I did a poll this morning on my early show and just asked people, do you think Wisconsin is still rural? I mean, if you think about it, a lot of us are of the age where we might have grown up rural, but obviously Wisconsin's dynamics have changed quite a little bit. So there's a group called the Rural Policy Institute. It started last July. It is not shall you say, an advocacy group. It's not a lobbying group. It's basically a group that's trying to answer these kinds of questions for policy development in the future. They're not going to introduce policy or anything like that. They just want to be a think tank of sorts to try to provide information in areas where there hasn't been any. This is one of the first things that they tackled. And basically what they found is you really got to define what is rural. I'll give you an example. So you guys know where Wapaka is, right?
Oh,
Up in kind of the central sands area. Okay, now that's a perfect example of rural adjacent, they call it. So Wapaka's probably, I don't know, I haven't looked lately, but it's probably got a population of about, 5 to 10,000 people, right?
That sounds right, yeah.
But it's in kind of the middle of nowhere, no disrespect to the central sands, but Wapaka is surrounded by rural. So those are the kinds of things they're pointing out. Same thing for some of you that go up to Rhinelander. Rhinelander's probably got a population, maybe 10, 12,000, but it's surrounded by rural. So what they've done in this scientific breakout is take a look at population densities and where they're at in Wisconsin. And it looks like it's about 40% very rural, probably about another 20% we could call rural adjacent. You've got about 40% your Green Bays, La Crosses, Eau Claires, Madisons, Milwaukees that would be urban, and then you've got the remaining percentage that are in kind of the suburbs, shall we say. But it's really all designed to try to make sure that people that are elected from areas like Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay pay attention to the fact that the policy that they're putting in play has a major impact on rural and rural adjacent citizens.
Well, that's interesting.
Interesting study. Pam, we got a question from a listener. Let me just throw this question in the mix here from a listener. John and Gordy asked Pam what we can do to protect family farms from huge corporate farm takeovers. That's kind of a big question, but what's your take on that?
Maybe we tackle that at another time. I think it's a question that's worth discussing, but it's a big one, and it all goes back to a lot of it is family dynamics. What are you going to do if the kids don't want to farm? Mom and dad can only do it for so long. You have to try to come up with a succession transition plan. Maybe you reach out to the kids' neighbor friends that's still farming. That's what I've mentioned to you guys before.
Yeah.
I get riled up a little bit when people say we're losing farms. We're not losing farms. They're just looking different. The cows go to the neighbors. The land is rented by the neighbors, but that farm is still there. So I appreciate the question. I really do. And we talk about it a lot, but it might be a little big for us to tear into in a couple minutes on the Gordy and John show.
Gotcha. Oh, thank you for getting the billing right on the name of the show. Appreciate that.
What's that?
Never mind, John.
All right.
You missed it.
I'm just, I was actually just contemplating the other topic we were going to talk about, and that is the milk movement. What is that all about?
Well, really, it's kind of helping consumers better understand how dairying is changing. Now, Wisconsin is still obviously very robust. We're number 2 in the nation as far as milk production, but things are changing. We're starting to see big, major cheese plants going in places like South Dakota. South Dakota?
Wow.
Kansas?
Dakota.
Kansas?
No.
Strange things like that. And I'm not just talking little ones. These are whoppers, fellas. And it's something that we've got to kind of keep in mind when it comes to Wisconsin's dairy competitive edge and making sure that we're recognizing, just like our lives on a daily basis, the dairy industry and its look and its flow of milk changing too. We might be sending some Wisconsin milk to Kansas to help them power that cheese plant that they're bringing online. But like I said, I thought it was worth reminding people that holy Moses, milk moves a long distance in the United States, and we're lucky we've got as many cheesemakers in Wisconsin to use local use of it.
Well, that champion cheesemaker was from Wisconsin. He's now in another state, so we're importing the cheesemakers and now the milk. So what the heck?
There you go.
It's all good. All right, Pam. Well, thank you very much. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again Monday morning. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
All right.
It's always a pleasure. Have a good one.
You too. Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. That's actually coming up right around the corner right here. And then it's Idiocracy time on John and Gordy in the morning. WMDX for a Friday. Good morning. Okay.
Did you reach out to Pam yet about?
All right.
Did you reach out to Pam yet about having her on during the 2:00 show?
What's that?
As it turns out, I don't think we need her. Although it looks like Friday is an open day.
Okay.
So we could.
Well, I was going to say that might be a better opportunity to talk about the corporate farm takeovers.
Yeah, that would be good. Maybe.
Well, it's not so much corporate farm takeovers.
Yeah.
Didn't you mention, Gordy, that they have some kind of foremost signs in
Foremost
the
farms?
Foremost
They're
farm.
all over the place. If you look,
we should ask her what impact that has as far as corporate farms absorbing nearby farms and so on and so forth. It's kind of a
in one way, it's really good for the farmers because they can't make ends meet. They can't, but Foremost comes along and says, "Look, we'll give you a deal. We'll lease your farmland.
Yeah.
You give us your product. We'll give you a guarantee of how much you're going to get every day or every week or however we cut the checks, and it'll be more than you're making now.
We should definitely bring that up
keep your
eventually.
land. We just lease it from you.
Oh yeah. I don't know who this fill-in for CNN is. Okay. All right.
London's Heathrow Airport is shut down. It's some gigantic fire at a power station.
E. I don't have A here at all, man.
What do you need?
That's just,
Do I have it?
no.
I have E, and E.
E. Let's see what we got here. That would be E. That's probably today's story. A, 7A. I don't have that. Weird.
Can you find it on your computer?
It's no big deal. Let's skip it.
I should do a Verlo here.
Thing is, I put these in order.
You put them in order, but they're not in order anymore.
No, they're in order, except that one page is not in the mix anymore for some reason.
Oh.
Again, I put it in order. It shouldn't have shifted out of order at all. I'm going to find it. If it kills me, it probably will kill me. 7A. I actually don't have it.
Yeah, I don't see it on the stuff you gave me. So.
Yeah. It ain't around.
40 seconds.
I do not have that. Okay.
15 seconds.
I'm going to mention that after I do Verlo, I'm going to mention the text to win contest starting Monday.
As the 21st century began, human evolution was at a turning point, a dumbing down, until humanity was incapable of solving even its most basic problems.
Now listen, Grapehead. I'll explain it so even you can understand it.
We can duck and cover. There's a fallout shelter right there.
There's no way to survive this, you idiot!
Idiocracy.
For the smartest guy in the world, you're pretty dumb sometimes.
Pretty stupid most of the time. Most of the time. You know, on my way in this morning, I was listening to some Elvis again. And Kissin' Cousins came on, and I was thinking, well, how close to Idiocracy can we get with that song?
Why are you on this Elvis thing lately?
Well, it's a folder that I'm playing right now. In my
you've
car.
been listening.
I've been going through them, yeah.
Not the big hits from Elvis, just kind of the
weird stuff. Yeah, I'm going through them. I'm reviewing them because we're going to have an Elvis day where we just play in and out Elvis songs. Okay,
but Elvis.
That's going to happen, right? Okay.
I like it. You're listening to John and Gordy on 92.7 WMDX Madison, and coming up in our next hour, Rökker will join us with a Max Inc. preview of local music, Wisconsin music, coming up. about 7:35. I want to mention this portion of, before we get to Idiocracy, this portion of the show brought to you by Verlo Mattress of Madison. The mismatch sale is happening. It's the biggest sale of the year. Mismatch on the outside, the same Verlo long-lasting craftsmanship on the inside. You want to hurry in now, save an additional 10% off of every mattress and box spring. Wake up, sleep better. Verlo Mattress of Madison, 2 locations, east side and west side. And by the way, John, our big text to win contest begins Monday right here on WMDX and throughout Civic Media. It's a statewide text to win contest. Some of these prizes we can now reveal include Chula Vista getaways, also Milwaukee Brewer Club level tickets, $100 cash. Those are some of the daily prizes. What do you think the grand prize would be, John? Do you have any idea?
I don't.
Oh, well, you sit down. Are you sitting down?
I'm sitting down.
You are sitting
down. Should I lay down?
You could lay down because our grand prize drawing is a brand new queen size mattress set from Verlo Mattress of Madison. So tune in Monday for our text to win contest. It's a 2-week contest. And again, statewide, all of our Civic Media stations involved. But we will be starting that at 7 a.m. Monday morning right here on WMDX. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's get
a big deal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Let's get to some of the idiocracy here. Maybe this is a little bit older story, but again, these are the cuts that are taking place for food banks and the farmers, rural farmers. We were just talking about how important they are. Well, they're taking it in the worst possible way because of the attempt by DOJ to weed out waste and fraud. They see waste and fraud in everything.
Of course they do.
Everything. It's just so seriously. I read all these stories about Elon's past, and all he's talking about is waste and fraud.
Do they have any waste and fraud ideas about all the golf games that Trump is doing? Because every time he golfs, it takes
Costs
millions of dollars.
Wastes a lot of money.
It does.
Yeah.
It seems like he ought to tell him to cut it out.
And of course, his score is fraudulent.
Yes.
So why don't we play cut 142 here and check out this story?
Okay.
I'm here at the Sullivan family farm. They've been hard at work in Manitowoc County since 2014. They say this cut is a major blow after a quarter of their business last year came from federal funding. Ryan Sullivan opened his farm just more than a decade ago. Starting in 2023, Sullivan had a contract to grow and provide food for local pantries. The contract was paid for by the Local Food Purchase Assistance Cooperative, or LFPA. That cooperative is what the USDA cut, totaling $19 million in our state.
I felt disappointed because Wisconsin was doing an excellent job with the program.
But he says his own farm was not his first concern.
The first thing we were thinking to do, how are we going to continue to move food into the food pantries?
Their main purchaser is Grow It Forward in Manitowoc. It's run by Amber Dogs.
This is an entire impact of a local food supply chain.
Dogs says the LFPA benefited small pantries to large food banks and more than 300 farmers. Grow It Forward is losing $34,000 in this cut, and they've already dropped their services from once a week to once a month.
I know how difficult this will be for some of our clients.
Sullivan says that despite the change, he's developed a network of markets and farms around the state through this program to help keep his business going strong. But he said he's still pledging part of his profits to food pantries to help keep places like Grow It Forward alive. In Manitowoc County, Preston Stober, NBC 26.
It's sad that we have to present stories like that. I mean, this is totally unnecessary, of course. I don't know why that money hasn't been restored. I guess they've been ordered to restore this money. This is money from the USAID. So, we're hoping that, they got the money. They're still supplying some of the food for these food banks.
Right.
And everybody's still kind of happy. But, I read some of the comments after this story. And it's nice to know that a lot of megas out there are concerned and care. Like this response. If you need to sustain your business off government subsidies, you shouldn't be in business. This is exactly what's wrong with society in almost every sector of business. Thank you for that comment. That's so wonderful. You touchy-feely right there. How about this one? Quit living off the taxpayers. There you go. I don't know.
Really? Okay.
Really? Really, you don't want to feed the hungry? Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Actually, they have their own business, but this is something they're doing on the side, and they're doing this to help people sustain their families. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems a little... Seems like you don't really have to explain that to too many people. But in this case, I guess you have to sometimes.
I guess so. Getting a comment here on our text line. By the way, the phones and the text line is open, 608-879-8255. That's 879-TALK. Of course, you can always download the Civic Media app for free and text us or call us from that. This comes from Mark at Prairie du Sac. How about the premium Trump charges the Secret Service for golf carts on Trump's own golf courses? Yeah, we're on this thing about golfing with Trump and how much that costs, too. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
We were talking about
it
that
really
earlier.
Is.
Okay.
Okay,
Back to you.
There are people out there that, of course, when you watch these town halls, a lot of people are angry at Elon, more so than Trump at some point here. Elon just keeps going through, cutting things, finding fraud where there isn't any fraud. And we've actually seen proof that what he is finding isn't fraud after all. And he's overestimated the amount of money he's saving. But okay, there's a guy out there. He's a councilman in Massachusetts. It's Brad Riley. And he claims Elon Musk has hurt the economy more than COVID-19. He's trying to mandate the city not buy products created by Elon Musk's companies. All right, let's cut 147. Let's hear that story.
All right.
I just wanted to remind people of what Donald Trump said about electric cars not so long ago. Let's just put up on the screen what he said about electric cars, because as you mentioned yesterday, he did have a parade of Tesla cars outside of the White House to show people. Here's what he said in 2023. All electric car lunacy and so much more are looking to destroy our great USA. May they rot in hell again. Merry Christmas. That was his Christmas message. That was December 25th. How times have now changed. Senator Chris Coons, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you coming on and talking us through these
and
important
Sarah,
issues.
if I might,
Sure.
The stunning thing is that in addition to putting on a car show in front of the White House explicitly to benefit the stock value of Elon Musk, his billionaire buddy Elon Musk pledged another $100 million to support Trump's political campaign efforts. The public corruption at the very core of this is just shocking.
Yeah. That's wonderful stuff. And of course, now we've heard, of course, the Department of Ed has been canceled, but he can't do that. They can't cancel it.
Right.
What is happening here? They keep closing out these departments. They keep,
They keep opening them back
up, or getting held up in the courts from doing that. They haven't. I know they've gotten the message that they can't do this, but they're going to do it anyway. They're just going to push the envelope and keep these things alive in courts.
Yeah, they're going to keep ignoring the judges and just keep doing it. Got a text here from a listener in Madison. Musk gets $8 million a day in government contracts, but we can't afford to feed the hungry. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's play cut 136 about closing down the Department of Education.
Okay.
I would argue on this education point in particular, there are a lot of parents out there in the wake of COVID who see this much differently. I mean, does anybody really, a parent out there, think that this education department has been working to their benefit, other than maybe Randy Weigarten and her cabal of union heads? I mean, this is a department where the unions got together during COVID and at the behest of the Biden education department kept schools closed for much longer than they need to. And we've seen that impact on students throughout the country. I have seen it personally with friends who have students who are struggling with reading and writing, all because the teachers unions got together with the Biden education department and said, let's keep these schools closed. So my guess is that there are a lot of parents across the country who are looking to see more local control and more local school boards taking action and handling these issues at the local level, rather than having a big bloated federal bureaucracy trying to call the shots from Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
So that those school closures and the recommendations were also under the Trump education department, and these the Pell Grants, the student loans, the grants, those are all part of the education department and what it does and what it contributes to the educational system in our country. Do you think there's absolutely no downside by eliminating the Department of Education?
It's an easy one.
Well, I think the school closures started under the Trump administration because COVID started when folks didn't really know what was going on. The closures continued into the Biden administration at the behest and argument of Randy Weingarten and her cabal of teachers unions. And I suspect at some point some of this stuff will be absorbed into other agencies as we move along. So again, I think there's a yearning and a want. If you look at elections and how they have taken place over the course of the last several years.
Yeah, well, we've got a story later on about some of this, the closing of the Department of Education. And one of the most important parts of that is college funding.
Right.
So that is going to be kind of shuffled off to another department, maybe.
Some other agency.
But it's already controlled by one department, even though the Department of Education does handle some of it. We'll talk about that. It's kind of a complicated situation, but at least I was just waiting for the sign up for colleges and their funding to happen, because without the department, I'm thinking, it's going to be complete chaos for parents out there trying to sign their kids up for college.
Right. And which agency is going to take that up?
Right.
They haven't really announced that,
well,
have they? Or
the college funding part is part of OCR.
What's that?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know.
Well, we'll get to that stuff.
All right. Just a couple days ago, because right now I'm doing online school to become certified to be a teacher. Right. And just a couple days ago, I got my financial aid offer from Edgewood College, and I'm a little weary of accepting it, because if I do accept it and then I get that money, what happens if come this fall when that money gets dispersed, then just a couple weeks later, they come calling in that loan right away. They'd say,
Really?
no, you can't get that. What if that happens? Who knows if it could, but given
there's a lot of
everything that's
uncertainty.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't have the money to just
do you
pay
plan
back a loan like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, OCR is the Office of Civil Rights. DEI sounds a little DEI-ish. We're going to have to do something about that. But anyway, that's where the funding for a lot of these colleges comes from. And we'll get to that story in just a few moments.
Okay. This portion of John and Gordy in the Morning brought to you by David J. Frank, your turnkey one-stop landscaping resource, celebrating 65 years doing lawn care, flower care, trimming, shaping, pruning. David J. Frank, the largest landscape contractor in Wisconsin. Offices in our part of the state around Madison, Milwaukee, and Kenosha. They have other locations as well. Just go to davidjfrank.com. That's davidjfrank.com for more information. Coming up in our next hour, we're going to check in with Brittany Merlot on the weekend weather, and also Rökker with a Max Inc. preview on John and Gordy in the Morning.
All right. We'll be kissing cousins. They'll make it all right.
Elvis.
Kissing cousins.
Who in the world thought that was a good idea for a movie?
I know.
Well, you got to remember, Elvis is from the South. And in the South, cousins could marry.
Yeah.
In many states back in the 50s.
See, the whole thing here is this is what makes Elvis movies so great.
Hey, Rökker, I don't know if you're on mic right now. Do you want to check things?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, look good. Look good.
Thank you.
Now, are you where are you? Are you at home or you're
in the studio?
No, he's at home. He's at home.
That's his big
turn off
monitor.
echo cancellation.
That's our
once
big
and see if
monitor.
It still works. Everything sound all right still?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, I can hear everything.
Oh, that's
Is my
weird.
mic good?
Are you in the new studio?
No, I'm at home.
No.
He's at home.
Wow. I feel like we need to work on this studio.
Can you crank your mic a little bit, or Sam, can you?
Yeah, I'm playing with the echo cancellation right now to remove
Can you crank my mic?
Maybe.
Yeah, or I can
I'll
turn
let
you
Sam
guys down, John.
I'll let
Gordy.
Sam guide you.
Okay.
Actually, I can't do anything more for you guys to hear him. Let me turn the cancellation back on. Keep talking, Rocker.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
I turn it off.
I got a faulty headphone.
Okay, that's weird how it just boosts everything crazy like that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll play with it a little more later, but if you got stuff to do planning wise, you can keep doing that for now.
We got your
Back in
document.
20 seconds.
Did you get that, John? He got it. Rocker sent us an email with his info.
Oh. Okay.
I got it over here.
All right. Well, I'll pull it up when Rocker's in the studio.
Here we go.
All right.
All right.
Where are we? What are we coming back?
More idiocracy as we continue part 2 here. WMDX, John and Gordy in the morning. As we review idiocracy here at, it continues on and on and on, and we've got so much more stuff.
Never ends.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fairly nice day. Pretty chilly this morning, 33 degrees, highs in the mid-50s. We'll get an update from WMDX meteorologist Brittany Merlot coming up in about a half hour.
Well, there's a big debate. Who should get food stamps and what you can spend your food stamps on? And I thought this clip said it all, basically. This is cut 111, and it's all about food stamps and eating Cheetos.
A new House bill that could expand food stamp requirements, meaning that if you're going to get food stamps in this country or SNAP, and you're able-bodied and childless, and you're 18 to 65, you have to work at least 20 hours a week. Why isn't this the law?
Right. It should be the law. You know what? We have a message for those kind of folks. If you're able-bodied and you want to, milk the taxpayer, those days are over. Get off the couch. Stop eating the Cheetos. Stop buying the medical marijuana and watching television. You're going to actually contribute now because the American taxpayer is fed up. And as Elon Musk mentioned in that segment prior, we can't fund the federal government anymore with these kind of deficits. When we're spending more on our interest payments, almost $1 trillion than we are on our military, that should be a wake-up call that if we don't change course, we're going to lose this great republic of ours.
Yeah. All those Cheetos, they really do cost an awful lot. Food stamp program just being abused with waste and fraud as usual. Waste and fraud, waste and fraud, waste and fraud. Oh, my gosh. Please stop it from happening. But, the food stamp program is extremely important. And, of course, making these rules up is just ridiculous. And this is a right to work. In other words, they're requiring people to work for food stamps. They're requiring people to work for Medicaid. All extremely wrong things to do. In fact, the forcing people to work to get their Medicaid, their health care, is illegal. The system itself, the Medicaid program, was designed to supply people with health care. It didn't have anything to do with jobs, working, anything. It's just a health care program. Therefore, you cannot add the stipulation that people have to work in order to get Medicaid. Now, the same thing should be true for food stamps, but who knows? I ran across this story. I thought maybe we didn't focus enough attention on Fort Knox. But,
Fort Knox.
Yeah, the Fort Knox thing and Trump going after the gold. Yeah, it was so James Bond villainish that I was fascinated by the topic itself. And I just want to play this cut here. This is cut 110. And let's listen to this about Fort Knox gold being there or not being there. I think there's a plan here by Trump to maybe take the gold for himself. Let's listen.
Really?
The people who live near Fort Knox have heard pretty much all the conspiracy theories.
Who would have taken
the gold. For the missing gold, I don't know. I don't have anything to do with that.
About the federal facility at the heart of town where a huge chunk of the country's gold supply is stored. What's not a secret, President Trump's long love affair with gold, from bars with his name on it to signs outside his Manhattan home. And that famous golden escalator that started his political career. He's now making a promise to find out once and for all, is the gold still there?
We're actually going to Fort Knox to see if the gold is there, because maybe somebody stole the gold. Tons of gold. Wouldn't that be terrible if we opened it up and there was no gold there?
Wouldn't that be funny?
If the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset.
Despite the president's speculation, there's no evidence the gold is not there, which we'll get into in just a bit.
I think we should worry about that.
One of the most secure places in this country, so I am 100% sure that the gold is there.
But those conspiracies, almost as old as the first deposits back in 1937.
Minimum offensive fire until I signal bomb has been neutralized.
With the mystery driven by the 1964 James Bond film Goldfinger, after its villain tried to tank the economy by ruining the gold supply. Of course, the U.S. doesn't rely on gold anymore to back the dollar, a change finalized by Richard Nixon in 1971, but we still keep a ton of it, or really tons of it, locked up. An expert we asked told us it's basically collateral.
There might be foreign currency reserves, there might be gold reserves, and this increases the confidence that the dollar is sound.
The U.S. Mint says about half of the country's gold is at Fort Knox. The whole thing built under thousands of tons of steel and concrete, heavily guarded. And secrecy is part of the point.
This is for the unbelievers. Okay.
The vault only opened twice since FDR. The first time in September 1974 for a group of journalists and members of Congress to dispel rumors the gold was gone. The second time during the first Trump administration, when then Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin got a look for himself.
The gold was there when I visited it. I hope nobody's moved it. I'm sure they haven't.
So did Kentucky's Republican governor at the time, who's dismissing the conspiracies this week.
It is so ridiculously secured that it is not possible to sneak anything out of there.
All right.
In fact, it's so secure, they don't want
kind of get the idea here.
So is that one from one of the local TV stations down there?
A lot of stations,
yeah.
yes.
Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, well, they just want to make sure the gold's still there. They said it's still
this
there.
Is one of those distractions that didn't necessarily have legs, didn't take off. But I just thought, who would ever start a rumor about the gold being missing out of Fort Knox?
Yeah.
Trump. Trump would.
Of course he would. Okay. Coming up in our next hour, we'll check in with Brittany Merlot on the weekend weather and Rökker with the Max Sneak preview, local music from Wisconsin, right here on John and Gordy in the Morning, WMDX.
Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
Did you, I don't know if you, I'm guessing you didn't change anything, did you, Rökker?
Me?
Yeah. Like, it almost sounds like you're not coming through that mic or something.
Really? How about this? I mean, I'll get closer.
It sounds like you're a ways away from the mic, yeah.
Yeah.
Or is that...
You don't have anything else hooked up to that computer, do you? Where it would be coming through a different one?
I'll go back
That's
to my
weird.
settings. I turned off the echo cancellation.
Yeah. I was playing with that before.
1, 2. Test 1, 2. I could zoom back in and just try it from my phone. Want me to do that?
You could try it. I don't know if it's.
I don't know why
better,
is the mic. Why is the mic?
Or let me try the microphone like on my computer.
All right.
Did I do a David J. Frank in the first hour?
Yes.
I did?
Yes.
Test 1, 2, 1, 2.
Remember when?
Test 1, 2. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
It's still a
That's
little
not
light.
very good though.
Yeah.
It's just like really quiet, and it sounds like you're like 3 feet away from the mic for some reason.
All right, let's try this microphone. This is my computer microphone.
Okay, that's
That's
like
actually louder. Yeah.
good level. There's like a lot of background noise though.
It's not that much, but yeah, a little bit.
How about now?
Now it's clean.
That's better.
That's much
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that sounds really. That's the
better.
best yet.
Yeah.
So the computer microphone sounds better than my wicked studio mic.
Yeah, what happened? Oh, wow.
I don't know.
All right. Time to.
But if that works, that's going to work for you then?
Yeah, that'll work.
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely.
Just
Definitely
dialing
working.
in the level a little bit.
Definitely working.
All right. I don't hear myself in my headphones, so that's kind of weird, but I'll live.
Yeah, that because your headphones are plugged into your little board, right?
Yeah.
Is that a big issue?
No.
Or are you fine talking like? Okay.
I'm a musician, dude. We deal with shitty sound on stage all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys will complain like no other if they can't hear themselves.
That's right.
The show must go on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you done writing up everything and all that? Or are you
Me?
gotta... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I turned it in, so you guys got
You
everything.
turned it in. Okay.
I turned in my homework.
Okay, we do have Savannah here today then, Gordy.
Okay.
Rökker, I'm gonna kick you out, or not kick you out, but just take you out of the, like, put you backstage for a little bit, and then we'll talk to Savannah, and I guess bring you back at the bottom of the hour. Savannah, good morning.
Hello. I have some new things that we can talk about that haven't aired yet. How's that sound?
Yes, love it. What is it?
Give us a little heads
so
up.
one thing is, the Trump administration is getting rid of the Institute of Museum and Library Services. I had never even heard of it, but turns out they give money to the Madison Public Library. They give money to the Chazen Museum, the Veterans Museum, the Wisconsin Historical Society, Old Brick Gardens, and MMOCA. So that's big.
Yeah.
The other big story of the week is that, of course, early voting has started, and it started under Michael Haas, the city attorney, because their clerk is currently on leave. And I have permission from my source in the clerk's department to pass along the message. They didn't want it like in print online, but to say that things have been running smoothly under Michael Haas for this first week here.
Okay.
So,
okay. Did Haas do this at one time before?
he is widely regarded as one of the biggest and most experienced election experts in Wisconsin. He was the Wisconsin elections administrator, so he did what Megan Wolf does for years. Like, he is highly, highly qualified to do this, and I can say that is adding to the calmness of the people working in the clerk's office.
Yeah, it should dispel any kind of rumors that anyone else wants to spread at this point. Calling the election into controversy for some reason. Right?
I mean, he objectively is more qualified than most clerks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, and just those two stories, right?
I've got those two, and then, there are other things we could talk about if you like. We have the Dane County supervisor who's resigning because she can't afford her rent anymore downtown.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. Yeah,
let's try to touch on that if we can.
We could touch on that maybe. Yep.
How about we do those first, and then we'll do early voting, because I can do that real
All
short.
Right, let's do that then. That's the supervisor.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
How's it feel being at home?
It's a little weird, but it's a pretty good setup.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Kind of homey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're building the new studio, and it's probably not going to be done until Tuesday, maybe, or Wednesday. We don't
Gotta
know.
be kidding me.
I have such an elaborate setup that when I turn on my webcam, that's what it looks like because the whole laptop is down there.
Wow. Yeah. It's I don't know what we're gonna do. We're doing 2 shows, Maggie Dawn's
Oh, we
and
gotta
ours,
mention that. Yes.
and then we don't have a studio. That just
You doing it right from
Well,
here? Probably.
you'll have the other studio maybe. 10 seconds coming in quick. Yeah, we'll have to work it out with the engineers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You gotta do a Verlo hit.
John and Gordy on the radio. 92.7 is the place to go. It's John and Gordy.
WMDX, 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 WMDX.
It's John and Gordy. It's John and Gordy.
WMDX, WMDX.
At the break of dawn, get your coffee on. John and Gordy on the radio. 92.7 is the place to go.
There we go.
Hey, that's us.
The place.
John Peterson, Gordy Young, producer Sam back in the control room, flipping the switches and buttons. And this portion of John and Gordy in the Morning brought to you by our friends at Verlo Mattress of Madison. Sleep better, dream bigger. The mismatch sale is still going on for a few more days. Same mismatch. Let's see. Mismatch. Let me start over. Okay.
Go ahead.
Take 2. Verlo Mismatch sale is back. It's the biggest sale of the year. Mismatch on the outside, the same Verlo long-lasting craftsmanship on the inside, John. So hurry in now and save an additional 10% off of every mattress and box spring. Wake up and sleep better. Verlo Mattress of Madison. And by the way, our Text to Win contest starts next Monday. This is a big deal throughout civic media. It's a statewide contest. And lots of great prizes. It all starts Monday morning right here at 7 a.m. And you'll have plenty of chances to enter the contest. Lots of great prizes like a Chula Vista getaway, Milwaukee Brewers club level tickets, $100 cash. Those are some of the daily prizes. The grand prize drawing is going to be a brand new queen size mattress set from Verlo Mattress of Madison. So that all begins Monday morning. It's going to be a busy week for us, John. We're going to be doing a double dose of the John and Gordy show. We'll be doing our regular morning show from 6 to 8 a.m. right here on WMDX. Then we'll be filling in for Maggie Dawn next week.
That's
from
right.
2 to 4, all week long, Monday through Friday. We'll be on the Civic Media Network. So going to be busy for us.
It'll be long form in the afternoon. So we can actually sit down and talk about these issues and get a lot of phone calls and interactions. That's what we want.
It'll be great. And now it's time for us to welcome in Savannah Tomei Olson, our news bureau chief here at WMDX, to find out what is going on around our area. Good morning, Savannah.
Somebody's getting priced out with their rent, right, Savannah?
Yeah, I was really shocked seeing this story. Shocked as in who it impacted, but not shocked at the core of the issue, right? Because the housing crisis is such a big problem here in Dane County. Well, one of the Dane County supervisors on the county board is resigning. She represents District 1, and that's most of downtown Madison because she can't afford her rent anymore. She hasn't moved. She stayed in the exact same place, and her rent has risen $2,400 over the last 2 lease cycles. So she has to move out of the district that she has represented for the last 5 or 6 years because she can't afford it anymore. Wow. I mean, just really a sign of the problem that we're dealing with here in Dane County. I mean, we hear it, you hear people talk about it all the time, but like it felt like one of those kind of watershed type moments where it's like there's a symbol of just how difficult it is for a lot of people.
That's right. The big idea here is not to just supply people with rental units, but maybe to get affordable condominiums built in the area so they can start building some equity and purchase larger homes later on. You know, get started with this investment in home ownership. And that's one of the things we should be looking at, not just apartment buildings, because that doesn't add to people's value.
That's one thing that the city is working on, and I believe they're working with the county on it. They're calling it their Missing Middle initiative. You know, the average house in Madison now costs over $400,000. If you want to buy something, you're pretty much priced out until you get to at least $350,000. So the goal is to create more of those condos and more of the lower cost units where people can start to, build wealth, which not only helps them, but that's the kind of thing that helps families generations down the line.
Mm-hmm. And Savannah, what are some of the other stories you're working on? There's some budget cuts from the Trump administration that you found out are going to be affecting some
libraries,
some places here locally, some libraries and some other institutes, right?
That's right. So I spent a lot of time on this yesterday afternoon, just tons of research. So I'd never even heard of the Institute of Museum and Library Services, but it's an arm of the federal government, and they fund a lot of public arts programs. They fund a lot of libraries. Here in Madison, they funded the Bubbler program at our public libraries. If you're familiar with that space at the Central Library, which is now a model that tons of libraries across the country use, where it's a public space for them to come and use and host all kinds of people to have education opportunities for folks. And basically, the Trump administration is getting rid of this whole department. So they have given money over the years in grants to the Wisconsin Historical Society, the Veterans Museum, the Chatham Museum, Old Brick Gardens, MoMoCA, and the Madison Children's Museum is currently in the middle of accepting a grant from them. So they've gotten some of this money, but not all of it. They're working on a project to basically determine how they can grow, how they can expand in the future. So they have no idea whether they'll even get all the money that they were promised.
Mm-hmm. It'd be a good question to ask people whether they think that's government waste, right?
And it's one of these things, again, where they're promised this money. They're in the pipeline to get this money. They've started the project, and now it's uncertain whether they're going to get the rest of the money to finish the project.
We all know government work is not quick, right? So it takes a bit to get them that money, and that's where things start to get real complicated when they're in the middle of these projects.
Yeah. All right.
Savannah, thank you so much. We know you have other stories you're working on today, and people can hear you here on WMDX with all the latest. We appreciate you joining us this morning, Savannah. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for having me. You guys too.
Okay.
Right. That's Savannah Tomei Olson, our WMDX bureau chief here in the news department.
Well, we've got some big stories as well rolling across the press here, and this is happening all across the country. The Trump administration is taking aim at our colleges and universities, and it's catching fire. You know, Ron DeSantis kind of started this whole thing off by eliminating one of the liberal arts colleges in Florida, and now it's just kind of swept the rest of the country, and Trump is taking off on it as well, doing away with the Department of Education and a lot of college funding. Now we're looking at changing the curriculum in these colleges, and this is happening in the state of Ohio. Okay, this isn't the Trump administration per se, but they are at least spearheading this movement across the country. Okay. The Ohio House has passed SB 1. It forbids colleges from teaching historic events like slavery or Holocaust that definitely did happen. They're saying, well, you never know. Mandates that students reach is this really teaching people anything? Mandates that students reach their own conclusions about all controversial events. They say Nazis should be taught from both sides, which is insane, of course. That's according to one college student. The bill also prohibits universities from taking positions on a controversial belief or policy, defines climate policies, politics, foreign policy, DEI programs, immigration policy, marriage, abortion, or any belief or policy that is the subject of political controversy. They cannot take a position on any of this in their classes, even though, of course, as you teach this, you can kind of insinuate or understand that maybe something is wrong or right or a good idea or a bad idea, which I guess you can't say anymore. You have to leave that up to the decision of the person listening or the student at least.
So this is from the Ohio House, the assembly there?
Yes.
They just passed that bill.
Yes. They passed the bill, and I guess it goes on to their Senate, but we'll see what happens with this. Students are marching at the university and of course protesting this. And one protester said this would make us think long and hard before committing to stay in Ohio. And that's one of the things, when they do these kinds of things, you wonder, well, do you think the families appreciate this happening at their colleges? Do you think that they want to stay in that state anymore? And the problem here is a lot of people have roots in their communities. They have family in those communities. They don't want to move out of the state. And this administration, or I think most of the MAGA followers, don't really feel like they have any ties to their community. They constantly say this to you. If you don't like it in this state, you can move out. Well, that's not necessarily the thing you want to do.
It's not easy to do, even if you wanted to do it.
Right.
So,
And they shouldn't have to force individuals who have family and deep roots into their communities. Like I'm from Wisconsin. My family is from Wisconsin. I want to stay here. I don't want to leave. And just because the Republicans are in charge of the Capitol doesn't mean that I have to move now. It shouldn't come to that. The policy shouldn't make that an option, right?
Exactly.
We should be working together on all of this stuff.
716 phone lines are open. You can text us too at 608-879-8255. That's 879-TALK. Also, check us out on the Civic Media app. That's the easy way to get in, and that's free to download. You can call us or text us right from the app on the WMDX part of that app. Again, that's free to download. You can go to civicmedia.us. This portion of the show being brought to you by David J. Frank. They are your turnkey one-stop landscaping resource, celebrating 65 years in business in Wisconsin. Lawn care, flower care. They do trimming, shaping, pruning. You've seen their work at the UW campus, also at the Capitol, and here and there around Madison. In fact, all across Wisconsin. They're the largest landscape contractor in the state, with branches in Madison, Milwaukee, and Kenosha, and in other locations too. Get the latest from davidjfrank.com. That's davidjfrank.com. We're going to check in with Brittany Merlot in a couple of minutes, get the weekend weather. It's looking a little chilly this morning, 33 degrees, highs in the mid-50s. Find out about the rest of the weekend in just a few minutes.
Of course, that last story was in Ohio.
Right.
But again, I mentioned that this is a Trump policy. This is what Trump wants to do with the rest of the country. And that is exactly what's happening. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, has suspended federal funding to the University of Maine.
What?
Yeah, that's happening. So,
okay, we'll follow that story.
Yeah,
it is 7:18 in about 15 minutes or so. Rökker will be checking in with us with a MaxInc preview, local music, regional music, all from Wisconsin. We'll find out what's going on around here. And we'll be back with Brittany Merlot with that updated weather forecast right here on 92.7 WMDX. John and Gordy in the morning. Stay with us.
We got Dick on the line.
Okay.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Gordy, she can't see that.
Oh, she can't?
Catherine can't see that.
Okay. That's fine. I just thought I'd give it a shot.
There is a way to respond to texts.
There is?
It's more complicated than that, though.
Okay. Of course, let's make it as complicated as possible.
Well, I mean, otherwise you'd be responding to everyone who texted in. Because it all comes to one place.
Oh.
Yeah. You gotta like click like every time a text shows up, there's a link in that little blurb. You gotta click on the link and then you can reply to them.
Brittany, you got anything happening this weekend you want to tell us about? Any daredevil stunts? Anything going?
No,
I
my
think
life's
it's
pretty
hilarious
boring right now.
I think it's hilarious how you've come to associate her with.
I know, right?
With this now.
I like it.
Are you traveling at all or no?
I am. I'm going to go down towards actually Madison area, Milwaukee area, and for some places.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Sunday looking really bad, or what do you think around here? Just rain and snow?
We're kind of like on the edge of is it going to be bad or not, but more rain
Where
for
is it?
sure.
Okay, we're coming in quick here.
Here we go.
Okay.
WMDX 92.7. John and Gordy in the morning. A lot of stuff going on in the news. There's just
too much.
a never-ending fire hose of information.
We're flooded with news stories every single day, but we do the best to hold your hand and get through it all.
That's right.
Together, right?
Now we've got a fire hose of information regarding weather.
That's right.
Brittany Merlot,
our chief meteorologist. Good morning, Brittany.
Good morning, guys. I agree with you on this bad news fire hose issue. I just found out that the National Weather Service in Green Bay, their morning balloon launches have been suspended. So,
Oh, come on. Really?
yeah. So
they've
that's gonna
taken
affect
that
us.
away. Oh my gosh!
I
All
know.
right.
What are they going to do with all those balloons that they have in storage that they launched?
That's what you're thinking. What are they going to do with the balloons?
Oh, that's funny. That's so funny. Those balloons are pretty cool. Have you actually seen one? They're massive.
A long time ago I did, but how many balloon launches do they actually do? I mean,
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Well, she knows.
Well, they used to do it 2 times a day, once in the morning and once at night. Now they stopped the morning ones and they're just going to do the night ones, which concerns me because I use that data to forecast tornadoes. Is that atmosphere spinning? Do we have the ingredients? Is everything lining up as that balloon floats up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the morning one is the most important to me, at least. And so now it's going to be gone.
Why is it gone?
Because they took away
cuts.
the funding, I guess.
Wow.
That's crazy. Okay.
It seems like a lot of this withdrawn funding is just willy-nilly without any rhyme or reason at all.
Seems like it. Like
Yeah.
no research done into, meticulously doing what they're, it's just crazy. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to the weather for today and for the weekend. What can we expect?
Well, it's decent now. We are going to warm things up today to the mid 50s. It's a bit breezy, winds pulling out of the south, gusts around 30, 40 miles per hour again, and clouds increasing. We are going to see chances of light scattered showers this evening, probably around 8 to 11 or so. But after that, clears on out. A nice, calm, and sunny day tomorrow. Highs cooler, though, only at about 40 degrees. Then for Sunday, the system hits. We are looking at a rain. Could mix with some snow early in the morning on Sunday. Then it flips to all rain throughout the day. Then Sunday night, it has a chance to mix back with some sleet and snow where we could pick up around a half an inch to an inch of accumulation right now. So the heaviest looks to stay well north, but still kind of a mess in those mornings and evenings.
Okay.
Well, that's not good. I was getting used to just a very boring weather forecast for the last 3 months. And now here we are, just one mess after the next.
But really, most of the weekend's going to be okay till, I guess Sunday morning. So it's a half and half.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, Sunday morning, Monday morning, kind of meh. Otherwise, it's fine. It'll just be damp and dreary on Sunday, though. Like I wouldn't do stuff outdoors. That's not the day to do it. That's for sure.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, Brittany.
You're welcome, guys.
Have
a good weekend.
Yeah,
Talk
we'll
to you
try.
Monday. That's
Okay.
Brittany Merlot, our WMDX meteorologist. Got a note here from Troy in Mount Horeb. He says they're going to sell those balloons, those meteorology balloons, to China to fly over our country. So Troy's got it all figured out.
They're very good at that.
Yeah. Okay.
and we're very good at ignoring it. All right. Well, I mentioned, this attack on our colleges. The USDA, the Ag Department, is basically pulling funding from the University of Maine. This is happening at Columbia University as well. It's a suspension of nearly $30 million allocated for agricultural research and development. Kind of like something we need to continue to research. I don't know. And it's official. Trump, the excuse that he uses and Elon uses is, again, they're targeting transgender athletes with this particular penalty, the Ag penalty. The AG Secretary Brooke Rollins said taxpayers' hard-earned dollars, and that's starting to grate on me. Taxpayers' hard. You haven't asked me. You haven't asked the taxpayers. You're making all these decisions for us. You're blaming us for making these horrible, ridiculous, random cuts. You're blaming us, taxpayers, hard-earned dollars. Forget it. All right. Anyway, she's blaming that. And she says they're tired of taxpayers' hard-earned dollars going to such programs as transgender athletes, which there are very few of, by the way. And again, Trump can't do this. It's the Office of Civil Rights. I mentioned this earlier last hour, the OCR.
Right.
It's a law from the Nixon era that places strict limits on executive branch efforts to withhold congressionally mandated funding, known as impoundment. All right. Now, if Trump is supposedly protecting women, then why has OCR employees been ordered not to investigate thousands of pending complaints alleging race and sex-based discrimination?
They're ordered not to investigate.
Right. They're not. Don't look.
No.
Don't check it out. Don't go after those reports. So again, they're targeting transgender individuals with this withdrawal of funding,
right?
But they're also telling them not to look into any of the reports of discrimination. That's real protection, I think, for women.
Yeah.
What the hell, right?
Yeah. That's mind-boggling.
Yeah. It's not supposed to make any sense.
Hey, let's go to the phone lines. Dick has been holding on for quite a while here, and let's see what's on his mind this morning. Dick, go ahead with your call. Good morning.
But we don't need any protection from knowing when a tornado might strike, right?
Right. Yeah, right.
The thing about housing, there's an article in, I think, Wednesday's New York Times about how this whole thing is hollowing out Washington, D.C. People are moving out in droves, and prices of houses are dumping. And I know it's high price to live there in certain areas, but, I mean, what's the end game here? I'm a simpleton. I don't get this. It's all about the economy, right? And we're going to make everything better and all that good stuff. Well, if nobody has any money to spend, how's the economy get better?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Good question. Yeah.
I don't follow that.
I know. None of this makes any sense, and that's why it's so frustrating, and that's why the town halls are filled with people that are super angry. They can't make sense out of it either.
Dick, thank you for your call. Coming up, we will check in with the Midwest Farm Report. Then right on the other side of that, Rökker is with us with a Max Inc. preview of local and regional music from Wisconsin. Right here on John and Gordy, WMDX.
Gordy in the morning. As we were saying, let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
It's too much.
I know. I don't have any time for any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I think I know what I'm in my head. I'm trying to plan out what we're going to do next week, and I'm going to try to make this different, a little different. So,
well, we got all these. I think David J. Frank's ends today, but I think something else might be replacing it Monday. But I won't know. I think that's what Arthur said the other day. But all these little promos and everything, and then we got the text to win contest in the morning.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
is there?
Can we break?
Can we do it at a certain time.
Well, I'm thinking right after we come out of a break, I'm trying to slam. You open the break.
Mhm.
You know, just
and then you come in
just
with the
I'll
promo
do it as
thing.
fast as I can.
Okay.
And then
All right.
throw it back to you.
All right. That sounds
Try
good.
to-
All right. Let's not put anything in the middle of our stories.
What do you mean? Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That kind of throws me off. I'm never quite sure where I'm going to go with.
I don't know if I'm cutting you off sometimes.
Well,
And that-
let's assume you are. Let's just keep the storylines going. So if you do whatever promo you need to do it at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we'll just keep cramming stuff in right up to the next break.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am looking. Oh, here's Rocker's stuff. This is Rocker's email. All right. All right, Rocker, I got your stuff here. Open it. Let's see here. Oh, cool. All right. At a roundabout. Ever since that song played, you know, and we're talking about the roundabouts, you know, I've run into like 3 or 4 roundabouts where people just stop. Just stop. That's why they don't have stop signs there anymore.
That one in Middleton is a killer, though. That one on Parmenter.
Oh, yeah.
The double lane.
Yes.
With all these, it's like 5 different roads coming into
Oh,
it
it
or
is.
something.
Yeah.
And when that gets busy,
yeah,
and people are in a hurry, oh my God, that's.
Sorry, I
that
forgot to
one's-
add you in, Rocker. There we go. I'm back.
Yeah, people are coming. They're coming off the belt line.
Right.
There we go.
You can hear me?
Yeah. Sorry,
Yes.
I forgot to
Okay.
add you in. I walked away to use the bathroom.
Okay.
Wait a minute. You left your post in order to go to the bathroom, Sam? Is
Well,
that what you
he-
said?
What, do you want me to do it right here?
Yes.
He turned,
Get a bucket.
The thing is, he turned off all
Chamber
our
pot.
communications, so we couldn't set up the whole next segment. You went to the bathroom instead.
Well,
We're
you
just
still
sitting here in
got you still got a minute and a half here.
utter silence.
All right.
How does his hair look today? Do you, a little bit
Sam's?
shallow? Yeah, Sam's hair. Yeah, well, that
He's
looks
kinda
better.
going for
That's
a-
better. No,
No, there
that's,
he's shaking it like a
now it doesn't
crazy
look
man.
good. Now it's crazy again.
All right. I got to sneak in one or two more Verlos here.
Kissing cousins, and it makes it all right. All right.
You know, well, I'm going up to the Twin Cities this weekend because Sophia's spring break starts, and I don't know what I'm going to do the whole weekend. So I might just like sit and binge a bunch of bad Elvis movies.
Oh, yeah, if you could, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. They're all, the early ones have girls in the titles, and
Every
and,
title,
and
right.
most of the time, the girls don't have anything to do with the subject matter in the movie.
right. It's just to get people.
Just in there.
Just there.
Yeah. Girls.
Oh, girl crazy. And that didn't have anything to do with the movie.
30 seconds.
Both still fighting off our colds here. All right.
10 seconds. You got to get some fighting lessons so you can fight the cold better, right?
That's right.
Okay.
WMDX 92.7 Rock and Roll Radio. That's what it's all about here this morning.
Mm-hmm. And Rocker is going to join us here in just a moment with the Max Inc. preview. First, let me tell you that this portion of John and Gordy in the Morning brought to you by Verlo Mattress. You can sleep better on a Verlo mattress. The mismatch sale continues. It's the biggest sale of the year at Verlo. Mismatch on the outside, the same Verlo long-lasting craftsmanship on the inside. So hurry in now, save an additional 10% off of every single mattress and box spring Wake up and sleep better. Verlo Mattress of Madison, 2 locations on the east side and the west side. And our Text to Win contest begins on Monday, the Break into Spring Text to Win statewide contest on Civic Media. And the grand prize, John,
yes,
is a queen-size mattress set from Verlo Mattress of Madison. So you're going to want to tune in all next week and the week after for our big Text to Win Break into Spring contest on the statewide Civic Media Network, and right here on WMDX, of course. All right, time for us to welcome in Rökker to the studio for MaxInc Preview. Good morning, Rökker. How you doing, man?
What's happening, John and Gordy? Thanks for having me once again.
You're happening, of course.
You are happening.
You have brought it. You brought in the local, statewide music, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and you got a lot to talk about this morning too.
Well, I'll tell you, after listening to your headlines and your news, I'm really glad that on the weekends, MaxInc Radio, we unplug from politics.
Yeah.
And we do just local music, interviews. It's all Wisconsin made. So we have a good time. We get away from the politics. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday, 6 p.m. to midnight. This week, we have some interesting people. And, of course, they're rebuilding the studio, so we're going to have this like ad hoc studio this Saturday night. We'll be bringing in Brad Van. He is from I.O. Classic Arcade Bar. That's over on East Washington. He's also in the band Droids Attack. And he's going to be talking about, a lot of things with their classic arcade that they have over there, all the games that they have, but also there's a interesting local music relation here with Brian Koenig of Lords of the Trident. He's going to be there playing his guitar as a soundtrack to your video games. That's going to be on Friday, March 28th. He's a guitar virtuoso, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to be like, Mario Brothers in the background playing his guitar while you play. So it should be pretty interesting. That's coming on March 28th at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Nathan Rells of a new band called Maestranza. They'll be playing around. We'll hear about that new band. And Jimmy Vagley, the Jimmies, the namesake of the Jimmies, they're playing the Mama Cares 10-year anniversary party. And Terry Barr interviews Jimmy Vagley, and we'll hear about what's going on there. And then MaxInc After Hours, 10 p.m. to midnight. Best of Americana and folk music and all kinds of good stuff that happens. Well, let's talk about what's going on around town. A Harmonious Whale. You heard of them, John?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around for like
a long
30
time.
years, right?
Yes.
10 recordings. They're going into their 4th decade, recording a new CD. And it's Gypsy Jazz All-Stars in this band. Sims Delaney Potoff. He's a mandolin virtuoso and a band leader. He went to school at Berklee School of Music. Maggie Delaney Potoff, his wife, is a vocalist extraordinaire, and her percussive instrument, what she plays, is a cardboard box with brushes.
See, I was very good at the cardboard box myself.
You were great. Yeah.
Well, now I've replaced.
Winning.
I replaced the sticks with a razor blade now, and I just cut up cardboard boxes. I moved on.
It's really pretty amazing the sound that she gets out of a cardboard box. You would never guess it when you heard it. Scott Lavenka, he's gypsy guitar whiz, and Forrest Evans is a master bassist who dazzles on the upright bass. So I thought this is kind of from their last album. This is Harmonious Whale, Beyond the Pale. They're going to be playing Saturday, March 22nd at the North Street Cabaret at 8 p.m. That's over on North Avenue in Eakin Park. So let's take a listen. Harmonious Whale, Beyond the Pale.
30 days out on the road, 30 nights away from home. Now I've gone beyond the pale, searching for my holy grail. Another day, another town. No one you know is coming round. Force the question, if you please, is the juice still worth the squeeze? When the road grows old, come home.
Sweet. Nice.
Sounds great.
Smooth.
And with a
Yes.
bass solo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now here you are. You're a drummer and everything, Rökker, and you're okay with somebody drumming on a cardboard box. Well, a lot of times when you're accused of having a band that sounds like they're using a cardboard box, it's not a compliment by any stretch. So
I don't, growing up as a drummer though, I mean, probably my first drum set was the dashboard of the car.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
I think as a drummer, you tap on things. Just ask my wife. You tap on like everything, right? So you can get sound out of a shopping cart.
Well, I'm kind of curious with Maggie Delaney Patton playing that cardboard box. Is she playing it with just her hands, or is she using drumsticks?
Brushes.
Or
Brush
it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like dragging and
Yeah,
swirling.
sure.
If you've ever seen a jazz player play a snare
it's a
drum
whole new
with,
dimension.
with brushes, so it's very similar. But she has her favorite boxes. Brings them up on stage, and it's pretty crazy.
Well, I've been
They still have the logos on them and stuff. I mean, they're like from the grocery store. You know what I mean?
It's easier to carry
Amazon.
them around. They put it,
I guess
inside of each other, and then
I guess if you're a hoarder, you got enough boxes to play with. Let's hope she isn't one.
Okay.
It's always cheap, and if it breaks, you just get a new box.
Or a new order from Amazon.
Okay. All right.
She'll
What
be thrilled
next
to
here,
know that
Rock?
she got 6 minutes of radio talking about her boxes. Oh
Okay.
boy!
What else you got
Automatic
for
Lever.
us? Oh,
They are doing a show Saturday, March 22nd. So that's this Saturday at the Red Rooster over on Seaforth Road. And we talked about them a lot. They're a great band. It's a singer and producer from Sonora, Mexico, a Grammy-nominated disciple of the original funky drummer, Mr. Joey B. Banks. Keyboards that are steeped in jazz and salsa meet guitars raised on 80s hardcore and Afrobeat. And a bass that slaps back at acid jazz roots and a whole horn section of funk. These guys have it all, and they'll be playing at the Red Rooster this Saturday, March 22nd. And we've heard this tune, Helena, before I brought it in, but I thought this time I'd bring a little bit more of the guitar solo, a little bit more of the jam part of the song. We'll listen to a little different clip. So this is Automatic Lover. This is Helena.
All right. Love it. All right.
If that don't get you moving, I don't know what is.
Right,
So
absolutely,
I mean,
yeah.
you can really have a good time with this band this Saturday, March 22nd, over at the Red Rooster.
All right. I just want to mention
Automatic
here.
Lover. Okay.
This is WMDX, and we are broadcasting from our home, so it's a little bit different sound. And Rökker's also at home as well. If you're watching on your video screens, I hope you are on your phones. As you're driving to work,
On Facebook.
Bluetoothing the audio through your car stereo. That is the only way to watch this program.
Yeah, we're actually in the studio in my house. John's got a studio in your house. How come you came over here? You could have done it from your house.
Well,
too.
we don't have the room.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, you
Oh,
have
okay.
you have room for this extra microphone, and I'm so glad and lucky to be using today. So,
And Rökker's at his house because they're remodeling our main studio at headquarters.
Right.
Yes, what a
On
time
It's
to
kind
do
of
that.
interesting. It kind of reminds me of the COVID era.
Right.
When we were all doing this kind of like from our
Yes,
little separate
yes.
places all over the place, which kind of pioneered all this StreamYarding and streaming.
Right. Zooming and everything else.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it really changed society a lot, actually. A lot of people decided to change careers because they realized that life was out there and they could do other things.
Could work from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I remember 20 or so years ago, I had a job where I was like, hey, why don't you just let me work remote? And they were like, no, we need to watch everything, And then COVID came along and they figured like, wow, we don't even need a building anymore. We can save a lot more money. Sure, go work at home.
Sure. Why not? All right.
Yeah, it's almost contradictory when you think about it, because what Doge is doing, Elon Musk is doing, closing down these buildings, right, while still requiring people to go back to the office. Never did make any sense, but what the heck.
Well, there we go. Well, let's unplug back
no
from
politics. Hey, this is music
that's
here.
right.
Come on,
Yes.
let's get this together.
The no politics zone here. Okay.
What
else you got
guys,
for us, Rock?
there's a show coming up. It's the 7th annual Respect Show. It's a celebration of women in music, March 29th. It's at the High Noon Saloon on East Wash this year. And so what it does is it features the Big Payback, a local big band, lots of horns. They really got it all. But they changed the singer. So we have different local music singers singing a really famous, classic artist. So Teresa Marie from the People Brothers, she's going to be doing a Chaka Khan tune. Lo Marie is going to be singing Chappelle Roan. Genevieve Hayward singing Brandy Carlisle. Raquel Ailman is Madonna. Candace Griffin is Stevie Nicks. Molly Fish from the Civil Engineers, she'll be doing Rachel Price. And a lot of these singers, even more than I've been listening. But right now, I thought we would talk about Lo Marie. Now, Lo Marie, she's a Madison singer-songwriter, and she'll be doing Chappelle Roan. She studied music and economics at Vanderbilt University in Nashville. And she also, besides her own singer-songwriter music, she tours with Frank Zappa tribute band, Furious Bongos. And they're about to embark on a U.S. tour of a lot of places in the East Coast and some in the Midwest. The 7th annual Respect celebration of women in music, March 29th, High Noon Saloon. Lo Marie will be one of the singers, but let's listen to a little bit of music from her last album. This is Lo Marie, Fear is a Vampire.
Is a phantom sits on my thoughts, weighing down the freedom of my will. Alone is heavy, a welcome burden, releasing me from joy that I don't feel. But when push comes to shove, I've got all the love I need to stay and be the best I can be. Can you say the same?
Ooh, spooky.
Crazy.
That's
Fear is a
great.
Vampire. Lo is very, very interesting, incredibly musical, incredibly knowledgeable, really awesome artist. Go check her out.
Great voice.
Wyatt,
Great voice.
we got
Yep.
time for one more?
We will take a break, and
no.
we will come
Taking a
back
break.
with more with Rocker in the studio with us here at Max Inc. Preview. John and Gordy in the morning, coming right back.
This is Rock and Roll Radio. Stay tuned for more rock and roll.
So are
Rocker,
those
do
the
you know-
studio mics you got there, or are those your own mics, Gordy?
These are from the studio, actually.
Right.
Yeah, we're just borrowing them here while the studio is being revamped.
I
Rocker
adopted mine.
is-
What do you got, Sam?
So that event that you were talking about in Lo Marie, they're like covering different artists and their songs. You're saying?
Yeah, so the Big
Okay.
Payback is like the backing band, and then
Right.
each one of those singers kind of goes up and does their song of a cover song of
Right. You said
famous woman
Chapel Roan.
artist.
Right. You said Chapel Roan.
Yeah.
It's Chapel Roan.
Do you know them?
But that's I'm nitpicking, but that's
Yeah. Well, I'll never mispronounce the Who. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is you're known for that. never mispronouncing the Who.
Rocker, do you know an artist like a named M.L. Craze or Craze? Something
I don't
like
know.
that.
That's your neighbors.
ML Crace is.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's
she's
Mary
my
Lou.
neighbor. Yes, Mary Lou. She's my neighbor. She came into the studio. She came into my house yesterday and brought us some treats.
She broke in, by the way.
She's funny.
She's very funny, and she has something to do with that Jimmy's concert, the Mama Cares 10th anniversary. She told me.
I know she's like on the board of Music Makes a Difference.
That's it.
And so
okay.
she's like, intertwined with a lot of things. She's actually one of my secret spies.
She used to work at the Overture before it was, I think, when it was the Civic Center or something, or
maybe.
She
goes
told me
down
she
to
was
New Orleans a lot, so
all the time.
She goes
Yeah.
down there and she'll text me like, "I just saw this band. You
Yeah.
know, you got to bring them up." And at Woodfest, we kind of have this connection with.
WMDX, John and Gordy, 92.7. We've got Rökker in the studio, at his studio, and we're in Gordy's room in his house, hiding away in the basement somewhere.
No, we're... Okay, why don't you
I was going to say, Gordy, where do you sleep in there?
This is actually the extra bedroom upstairs.
Yes, upstairs.
Yeah. Anyway, we were just talking off the air about ML. How do you pronounce Mary Lou's last name, Rökker?
I would say Crace.
Crace, yeah. My neighbor
crazy neighbor who came by yesterday and dropped off some
some treats for us, a king cake.
King cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. And she's involved with that concert you were talking about, the Mama Cares 10th anniversary. And so we appreciate her stopping in yesterday with those treats.
I ate the baby.
Anyway.
I just
The baby baked inside the king cake.
Yeah.
You swallowed it accidentally.
Oops.
Oh yeah, you're going to be okay. All right, let's get back to music here, Rökker. What else have we got?
All right, Sam. I'm going to change the order since they're talking about Mama Cares. We may as well talk about Mama Cares a little more.
Yes.
Mama Cares is a part of the Mamas Madison Area Music Awards that they set up a fund that helps musicians in their time of crisis, so a medical crisis, or hey, like that guy who can't afford his rent. It might be that, and musicians are typically in positions like that maybe they don't have health care, and Mama Cares is one organization that does a lot to help that out. Well, there is a benefit that's going to benefit Mama Cares and also me personally, my Rökker expenses for my medical expenses that came up, because you never know that's really going to happen and acquire that kind of a medical debt. So we're going to have a benefit for Mama Cares and Rökker. It's going to be the Rökker Jamboree Sunday, May 4th from 1 to 5 p.m. That is at the Burr Oak over on Winnebago on Madison's east side. And it's going to feature some bands that haven't played in 20 years or more, right? Mm-hmm. Last Crack, Magic 7, Mindox, Subatomic, and Electromag. That is going to be a crazy show of Madison all-star bands from the past and the present.
What's the date again?
That is Sunday, May the 4th.
May 4th.
And, May the 4th be with you. So you can remember the Rökker Jamboree. May the 4th be with you. That's going to be at the Burr Oak, benefiting Mama Cares and yours truly. Last Crack, Magic 7, Mindox, Subatomic, Electromag. Let's listen to a little bit of Last Crack. This is from their latest album, The Uprising, from 2019. This song is called 3 Ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
Life will reinvent another day.
good.
Yeah.
Last
So, I don't know if you know, but I used to manage Last Crack for about 10 years. Went on tour with them over in Europe a couple times and took them down to Texas. Put out one of their live albums. So these guys are all, my really old, friends, brothers, right? And Magic 7, of course, is basically most of the guys from Last Crack. And so all these bands, when they found out what happened to me this past Christmas with my heart attack, they all were like, wow, we're going to come together. We're going to reunite these bands. We're going to have this great show in honor of me. And I think that's pretty cool. And
it's fantastic.
It's pretty amazing to me. So it's going to be a great show. That's the Rocker Jamboree, Sunday, May 4th, 1 to 5 p.m. at the Burr Oak. Well, let's move on to Road Trip.
Yep.
Okay. They're from Oshkosh. They've been around for like 30 years, right? And they were mainly a cover band, but they did do some original songs, and they actually recorded at Megatone Studios with Paul there from Last Crack, the guitar player. They've won many Whammy Awards over the years, and Saturday, April 12th, they're going to be at the Boulevard. That's over by Easttown Mall. And really good band. Amy Jo, singer of the band. This is Road Trip. This is called 2 Days.
Great.
Good rock and roll band.
Yeah.
Road Trip.
Excellent.
And catch
Rocker,
them at the Boulevard.
At the Boulevard. Very good. Rocker, we are about out of time here for today, but appreciate you coming in. Maxie, on the weekend, Saturday night, starting at 6 o'clock, right?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend, Rocker.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it so much.
So long. And we will be back on Monday morning. Don't forget our big Break Into Spring Text to Win contest begins Monday. And we'll welcome in the Western Dane Democracy Project.
That's right. We've got guests.
We've got guests. Also a double dose of John and Gordy all next week. We'll be filling in for Maggie Dawn on the Civic Media Network. John, have a great weekend.
And same to you.
Sam, you too. Rocker, everybody. Have a wonderful Saturday and Sunday. We'll talk to you Monday morning right here on 92.7 WMDX.
Take care, everyone.